Welcome to everybody. I've been making remarks at this event for over 25 years. And in the past, it's been mainly about our wonderful Tauber Institute of Global Operations, its success, the things that it's done for society, and most importantly, the cooperation of all of you, students, companies, staff, co-directors, administration. But this year is somewhat different because of this coronavirus that turned our world upside down. So I'm only going to cover, in terms of the Institute, two of the watershed events that have made a difference for society. The first is action-based learning. When we first started the program, the curriculum had mainly case studies. Because of what we learned in our action-based learning, the university and the business school have now transferred a lot of their efforts into action-based learning. And the best example of that is the summer team projects, where you're involved in action all the time. And what we learned from that has now been applied throughout the university, the business school, and even to universities around the country. The second major watershed event for the Institute was in the collaboration between the various departments at the university. When we began the Institute, each department, 18 of them at the university, were in silos, competing both for recognition and for resources. But because of our program, there's now this collaborative, cooperative effort on all of the different departments at the university. I think the best example of that was the Integrated Product Development Program, where we had to bring in students and faculty from a variety of schools: communications, engineering, business, art, architecture. The University of Michigan is beginning an effort in Detroit, where they're going to bring all 18 departments to Detroit to assist them in solving their problems and also working in the area of social advancement. Started with our program. So we're in good shape. This year was smooth until we were hit by this horrific coronavirus. It turned our world upside down. There was fear, there was commotion, students sent home, students quarantined, professors that were ill, businesses that were closed. I couldn't see how we could complete the program for this year. Well, fortunately, our staff felt differently. The Tauber family went into action, and the staff and the students and the alumni and the faculty and the administration all got together and began to try to solve this problem of saving this year. And lo and behold, I think they did it. There were 60 individuals, 23 programs, 2 of them on site, 21 of them done remotely, and every student received full compensation, not from government dollars, but by contributions from the Tauber family group. To me, what this means, this is the third watershed event of the Institute. I gave you the other 2. This one's just as important because it shows when bright people get together and all work on a problem, they can find answers. Life's objective is peace and happiness. And I've been talking about that for the 25 years. But this year is particularly hard because of the dislocation, because of the pain, because of all the problems in our society. It's very hard to look at happiness and peace. But I'm an optimist. So let me take a try. The key elements for happiness and peace happen to be relationships, deep and meaningful relationships, and secondly, doing things for other people. My wife and I, from the beginning of this pandemic, got together every night at about 7:30, because we were alone, quarantined, for a drink. And we sat and talked. It was wonderful. And I'd spent my previous 84 years never doing that. I was always running around, working late, taking care of the kids. And it was lovely. And we brought in friends on occasion to cement those strong relationships. And then there's a thing called Zoom. And Zoom entered my life. I used to call my children, grandchildren on their birthdays, anniversaries, births, and congratulate them. With Zoom, I could have my whole family together. So one of the holidays, we had 30 of my family on 10 different sites spending an hour with the holidays. It created a great strength, a strong feeling. And I think the same is true of your experiences in doing your summer team projects remotely, because you connect with people in a different way when you're under adverse circumstances. So you develop close, meaningful relationships, which is one of the key elements. The second is doing things for other people. Pretty hard to do during the pandemic. I used to ride my bike every day for about an hour in the evening, and I'd see these homeless people. So I decided to just give them a little bit, help a little bit. In Detroit, United Way, they were in trouble. I helped them. We developed another campaign for people who had difficulties because of the pandemic. We raised $8 million for those people, but it went more than just money. People that I mentored, kids that I helped, would call because they had time too. And I was able to enter their lives and be as helpful as I could to them. People called me out of the blue. A friend of, a son of a friend of mine who had passed away a year or so ago, his kids called me just to see how I was doing. That was important for building up this relationship and making a difference in people's lives. When this dark cloud dissipates in the next year, year and a half, I think you're all going to look back on these experiences and be very proud and very happy on what you were able to do when you were confronted by these issues. And I certainly am very proud of all of you and appreciate what you have done. Thank you.